Some Texas lawmakers testified before Congress today about the election bills proposed by state Republicans. Democratic lawmakers expressed concerns about the legislation and also defended themselves against Republicans who criticized them for breaking quorum. Here's our political reporter, Jack Fink.
During the congressional hearing, Democrats in Congress praised the Texas Democrats for leaving Austin and going to Washington, D.C. to block the state's election integrity bills. Republican members of Congress scolded the Democrats and told them they should return to the Texas Capitol.
People came and spoke.
The hearing was called Democracy in Danger, the assault on voting rights in Texas. Some Republicans rejected that. State Democratic lawmakers Nicole Collier of Fort Worth, Senfronia Thompson of Houston, and Diego Bernal of San Antonio testified there was no widespread voter fraud in Texas during the 2020 election and said federal intervention in the form of legislation was needed to block the state's proposals, which they say are designed to keep people of color from voting. They criticized the bills from outlawing 24-hour voting and drive-through voting for everyone that Harris County provided last year. Republican lawmaker Travis Clardy of Nacogdoches said the bills would expand early voting in Texas and are designed to make it more difficult to cheat. Collier told members of Congress they had no other choice but to break quorum in Texas.
There was no interest, there was no even attempt to work and compromise and collaborate with our colleagues on this. Our backs were against the wall. There was no more discussion.
To be sure, there is no assault on voting rights in Texas. Let me say this to my Democratic colleagues there with you today. It's time to come home. Enough is enough. You've had your fun. It's time to get back to work. You know as well as I do, this legislation has been negotiated in good faith and deserves your attention.
At one point in the hearing today, Republican North Texas Congressman Pat Fallon said one of the provisions criticized by Texas Democrats would be corrected by Republicans in Austin. More on that coming up at 6. Jack Fink, CBS 11 News.